Here's how this shit works around here. We do this. Book looks at her straight in the face without doing anything. Says, "You're under arrest for DUI." She literally goes, "The fuck I am," and then dumps this bitch on her forehead. Just goes like, and just.
I got a special flag.
Somebody's got to hold the camera. You know what I mean? All right. So, is anybody familiar with felony obstruction?
Not particularly. No.
So there's a couple of things that turn obstruction from misdemeanor to felony. Okay. So some of these things are trivial bullshit, which is mildly entertaining to learn about. You gotta. So passing a school bus turns it into felony. It's with the stop signs down, but that's besides the point. Exceeding 20 miles per hour.
Wait, seriously, that's a felony?
Yeah. Well, only while evading police. If you pass a school bus while it's in there, that's...
So if you're evading police...
That is obstruction. And so
if you're evading police and then pass a bus with the things out...
Yeah. Most people don't know that's one of the most expensive citations you can get. It's 6 points for doing that.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah. It's a heavy toll. But... felony obstruction is whenever you decide you think you're slick enough to put your damn hands on somebody or try to hit a little.
Define obstruction.
Impeding an officer's investigation directly through action or
lying, coercion.
Yeah, stuff like that. So we'll go with this. This is a story of a friend of mine. Okay, so this is his early times whenever he just got out of academy. You're just like, let's go get it. Let's do this stuff. You've got basically, you've got the whole law book. You've got all this stuff like, well, this is what you need to look for.
Lots of information.
A lot of information. Now you're just trying to piece the shit together. You know what I mean? It's like having all of the proper bags of Legos, and it looks simple, but now you just gotta do that. But it's kind of like a guess it. You're just going off of pictures. You know what I mean? You're not actually following the instructions because there are none. You're just looking at the actual picture of the finished result, and you just got
a lot of information at once.
You're going to get some shit in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. So, so he said it was around December, cold as shit. So everybody's wearing long sleeve. Nobody wants to get out of a car. It's heaters and YouTube shorts all night. That's pretty much what it's supposed to be. It's around like 3 a.m. and bars close where he lives around 2 a.m. Okay, so he's just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna drive.
This is a cop.
Yeah, he's a cop. He's on his field training program, and he's got his field trainer with him. He's in the passenger seat, and right now it's.
Is that a more experienced?
Yes, okay. That is somebody who has built the Lego set.
It doesn't look confusing.
Yeah, he has built the Lego set, and all he's done is just dumped all the pieces on your table. So he's leaving a downtown area. Downtown, typically nightlife, a little bit of bars, stuff like that. People getting their little brewskis in, and then the devil tempts them with a nice set of keys, So they grab those keys and they're just like, since I'm drunk as fuck, let's go drive this car. And then
backwards.
So
let's do 0 to 60 in reverse.
So he's sitting there, he's leaving downtown. He's like, who this? He just pulls up behind this. It's a Subaru. Okay, it's a Crosstrek. Okay.
Oh, this is a.
So it's like fishbowl windows. Guess who's driving it?
Somebody voted for Joe Biden.
Like, what would you expect them to look like?
I'm gonna.
Is it a male or female? Because there are certain kinds of characters.
Yeah,
it's a female.
Okay. Yeah, that was my initial thought.
People who drive the Crosstreks, it is either extreme. It's like it's like a young person.
It's either a Chad or it's a tree hugging fuck.
Yeah, and it's either really young
or really old.
And their parents are really old, or it's their parents driving the car, which are really old.
Yeah.
It was the chick driving the car. She was really old.
Okay.
So he's driving behind this car. Speed limit's 45. This car goes down to 30. goes up to 50, goes down to 35, goes 45, and he's just like, all right, so you know, you're doing a little bit of adjusting, 10, 15 miles per hour at a time, but you're doing it on the wrong side of the road.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
So she's English.
she was just, she's figuring it out. And something that I was told is that as somebody who's drinking, there's a reason they design these tasks the way that they do, is because whenever you're drunk, you can only focus on one thing at a time, which is why you have a pointed focus while it's moving, because you can only do one. You get an astigmatism, all kinds of stuff. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But so she's sitting there trying to focus on her speed, but she's not paying attention, like, maybe where the fuck she's going, So she said she's like halfway over double yellow into oncoming traffic. There was none, but I mean, these lines are painted for a reason.
Yeah.
It's some parameters to stay within, one would say. And so he ends up following her for a little bit, and finally is just like, you know what? Bars are closing, leaving from this time. She's not staying in her lane. She can't figure out a speed. And so she's like, yeah, you gonna get lit up. So because he's like, he said this was his first week. So he's
new. He's baby.
He's baby to this shit, dog. He's baby to this shit. So after figuring out how to work all the controls, he finally stops the car. So he's just like, So he just
got his hazards on.
Just imagine like a Delta airline pilot. This is your captain. So he calls out his traffic stop, and then they get out with him, and then so field trainer's just like, you know what? This is a deep end dive. I'm gonna hang back for a minute, see if he figures it out, And so
let little squirt go.
Yeah. So Lil Squirt walks up to the window. He's just like, hey, I'm Officer Lil Squirt with the police department, of course. Reason for the stop is you suck at driving. For reason A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Also, you're driving an ugly ass Subaru.
Yeah.
And so that alone is a criminal offense.
This has nothing to do with the story, but what color was it?
It was orange.
Oh, I was thinking one of those like
it was like one of those octane. It's like one of those octane oranges, like super bright, vibrant orange.
Yeah.
Dang, I was thinking like
So it's like,
So she's hip.
yeah, she's hip with the times, and so it's just like, hey, where are you coming from? It's like the bar.
Okay.
You wouldn't have had to happen to be had. Have you had any? Have you had any drinks tonight? Yes.
Check.
Yeah. How many have you drank? Like 2.
Which
No.
who stopped at 2?
He didn't know this at the time, but people tend to lie how many drinks they had. Not everybody's a straight shot. Okay.
Yeah.
So at this time,
So he's got
This
he
woman-
thinks that
this woman
she
got
was
the
down.
yeah,
biggest
he
cap
said
on.
he said he's just like out of nowhere. His trainer walks up and he's just like, "What do you got?" Because usually his like introduction is supposed to be pretty short, sweet. Get a driver's license, get on.
He came back, POV, clap back.
So he got out of the passenger seat and he came over and it was just like standing over him. He's just like, "Hey, what do you got?" And just like, "Oh, she's been drinking. Get her out of the fucking car." Like,
Oh,
all right.
they're not allowed to sit there or whatever?
Yeah, because it's like
I guess if they willingly admit it,
yeah, because like, if you figure out or have reason to think that they were drinking, I guess you're supposed to just pull them out of the car. So
Okay.
they're just like, it's mainly just, he said it's like a
Prevent something from happening.
Yeah, just in case, like, so he
She
gets,
don't realize she puts it in drive.
he gets an ID and he's like just run that, and so he just tells her to get out of the car, and then they call their supervisor over, who you have to be like certified in field sobriety testing and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So a qualified individual comes over and they're just like, all right, do these tests. Blah, blah, blah,
Bitch,
blah,
thanks.
blah. Yeah. And so she gets out. She's like doing a little like over to the back of the car. So they end up doing the testing on her. And then, so they're all standing next to, so I'm trying to like put this on perspective. So there's 4 cops out on the traffic stop, right? 4 of them. So you've got like your sergeant, you got the field trainer, you got Little Squirt, and then you got a plus size chick that just happens to be a cop. It's nobody to write home about.
Somebody ain't running nobody down.
No. Damn. No. And it will come into play later. And so he does the testing. Everybody's sitting off to the side of the car. Old chick, Hag, she's sitting up in the front, right? Like she's just leaning up, you know, start my stuff, you know, laid up against the push bar, and then
How dare you inconvenience me?
So the supervisor walks over. He's just like, so he asks, like, "Hey, so is she drunk?" And he just goes, "She is," and he's just like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, I'm fucking this bitch on the way.
And then and he's like, "All right," and just stands there.
Just plays it cool, like.
And then supervisor says, "She is." And
Get to it,
and
bitch.
then he's just like, "Yeah, she is." And he's like, "Hey, yeah, she is. She is." Like, oh, okay. And then he
Is
starts.
this little squirt that's just confused?
Yeah, little Squirt's just sitting there, just like
Oh, okay, yeah, great. Yeah.
to little Squirt's
Little squirt doesn't know he needs to go do something.
Yeah, to Little Squirt's defense, he was told that apparently there's like because this is like his 3rd day. They said like at the beginning, they're just like, here's how this shit works around here. We do this, book them. So he's waiting for the thing. You know what I mean? He's like,
Waiting for the signal.
do the signal. All the hits are there.
Do the thing.
Clack the wrist. Do it. Do the thing. And so he like,
Do it.
he's just like,
Well.
and he's like, oh shit, this is totally my traffic stop. I totally got us all here. And so he starts walking over and he's like, so she's under arrest, right? And he's like, yes.
Dude, we've
she's
gotta write it
under
down.
arrest. She's under arrest.
Yes.
And so dipshit walks up to the old chick. She's,
Squirt or
keep in
dipshit?
mind, she's like 65. Little Squirt is the dipshit.
Dipshit
walks
He's
up.
been demoted 3rd day.
Dipshit walks up to old head. She's like 65, 67 years old.
Damn.
And he looks at her straight in the face without doing anything, says, "You're under arrest for DUI." And
Fucking
she
move.
literally goes, "The fuck I am." She says, "The fuck I am." And then she starts to bow up. So,
Bro.
yeah, so Little Squirt like grabs her fucking hand and she just starts slinging shit. Like
Oh,
just
shit.
like
Squaring up.
like no windmill. Like windmill panic. Like all that shit. So big bitch comes over and she's just like, you don't touch him. And starts helping Little Squirt out. And he said he's just straight up like struggling. And then eventually the field trainer goes over and realizes that Little Squirt's just fucking being a victim. Yeah. It's like, I'm a certified witness. Yes, I am.
We get uniforms.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just fucking.
I got a special flag.
Somebody's got to hold the camera. You know what I mean? And so she starts fighting, and then so trainer comes over, helps big bitch. They're like wrestling around in the car. They bring her over to the back of the car. They're just like open up the door and they try to shove her in, and then the supervisor, I think is a sergeant, comes over, and he's like trying to get hands on too because she's just like being a bitch because she was finally put in cuffs.
She got tarred string and
like
shit.
Little Squirt put her in cuffs and shit. And that is also a very good point to note that a new guy put that person in cuffs. So they're sitting there trying to shove her in the back of the car, and then she's like hunched over, and then she does this. She's like,
Oh shit! Little Squirt?
goes to no, not to Little Squirt. She goes to strike the supervisor in the face. So field trainer,
The one who's put together the Legos before.
yeah, field trainer.
Damn.
Field trainer who has completed the Lego set is best homies with the supervisor who has a whole collection of completed Lego sets.
Oh shit!
So he's like, "You ain't gonna disrespect my sergeant." And then dumps this bitch on her forehead. Just goes like hip toss, just like, and then grabs her by the neck, just like, "You fucking try to elbow my sergeant," and just goes apeshit on her.
Don't you mess with my buddy?
And then something that I've realized from all the police videos that I've always watched is that everybody's about that shit until the shit gets real. The second that bitch understands exactly what grade 3 cement tastes like, she's just like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then she just starts screaming and hollering. So they call an ambulance and shit, and she's like, "I don't want to be checked out by them. Fuck them." And just like, and they're just like, "We're going back to bed.
Wow.
Bye." It's like she don't want to be checked out. She denied it. That's all in you guys' body camera. We're going back to bed. Bye. And so they're just so they shove her in the back of the car, and then they're just like, "All right, well, it's up to you if you want to charge her with felony obstruction," because she literally tried to assault an officer. So you just
Little Squirt?
Yeah, they're just like, "You pick and choose to do what you want. This is your case, bud." And then Little Squirt's like, "Okay."
I want her dead.
Since I
want her head on my mantle.
he's like, "Since I don't know how to do anything, I'm just gonna give her citations." Just writes her a bunch of tickets.
No shit.
Yeah. So he said it's like there's just a whole lot more paperwork, and he was still timid about shit. So he's like, "I'm not trying to get too involved just yet," you know.
Wow. I wonder how many
And,
people Little Squirt's choked out by now.
I'm not sure, right?
And so while he's sitting there doing that, they eventually needs to go ask her a question because she's just being a dick in the back seat, just blah 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 blah, blabbing her mouth off and stuff. And then they open up the back seat, and then she's sitting with her fucking hands in her lap, and then she's like dangles her wrist, and she got out of her cuffs.
No way.
She got out of her cuffs. He's like,
Was she good or did Little Squirt suck?
Little Squirt sucked. Little Squirt totally
Baby
sucked.
as fuck. No?
Yeah, so Sergeant goes over. He's just like, "Why the fuck isn't she cuffed?" And Little Squirt's like, "Yeah, I fucking cuffed her." And just like, "Well, let's make sure you actually cuff her." And then so they put her back in cuffs, and then they're eventually just transporting, and they just start driving to the hospital. They got to get like checked out because she was like totally dumped on her face.
Face planted on
Yeah,
the road.
they apparently they need like jail clearances and shit. It's semantics. I don't care that much, but they bring her up to the hospital, and on the way there, she's like banging her head into the fucking the cage and shit.
At
Like,
this point, does she know that like she's not going to jail, or she just think that she's going to jail and that's why she's being
no,
good?
she 100% knows she's going to jail,
Oh,
and
she's
so she just
super
wants to be a
pissed.
bitch. So they're sitting there. A key note of all this is for some reason she's from New York, okay, and so nobody is allowed to call her ma'am.
What?
Apparently, it's disrespectful as fuck. Apparently, it makes him sound old up there, which she was fucking old.
Yeah.
So why
Welcome
wouldn't
to reality,
Yeah,
bro.
but also that's in the South. That's like a polite thing. It's just like, "Hey, ma'am."
I say that to my daughter.
Yeah, she got into a screaming match with one of the dudes about being called fucking ma'am. And
Was
then
it him?
then I don't know.
Maybe it was a
It was a
pronoun.
troglodyte looking bitch, but
So you've seen what she looked like?
I might have
Or you
been
just
privy.
pictured it.
I might have been privy to some body camera footage.
Oh, okay.
But they bring her up there, and this chick starts annihilating Lil Squirt. Annihilating.
Physically or just verbally?
Verbally. Assassination. It's like, "You're new to this, aren't you?"
No.
She's like, "You're new to this. You look like a bitch." It's like, little pussy. Say, little pussy, you don't look like them. You're trying to look tough. You don't look like him. He looks seasoned.
No shit.
Yeah, and he's like,
Calling little squirt out like a
damn.
motherfucker.
yeah. Then the sergeant pipes up. He's just like, you can call him a pussy and all that news shit all you want, but you're his third traffic stop and you're his first arrest, so he ain't that bad. So he starts back a little squirt up. He's just like, yeah, but he still looks like a bitch.
Damn.
Assassinating him, just murdering him. He's just,
Damn.
but they end up.
Little squirt took her out back and anal raped her. And
They Lil Squirt takes homegirl up to the jail. They get rid of her ass, and that was his first arrest ever. And
Damn.
in his first arrest, his third traffic stop, he got DUIs, obstructions, like all that stuff in just one little sitting.
Damn.
And he anticipated them being DUI based off of like all the other stuff that she was doing while she was driving. Because I mean, there's just like logically, if a car's leaving the bars after they close, they suck at driving. I mean, it's a safe assumption. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about initiation.
No
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
Like what? Like realistically, just being honest. All right, I'm a 43-year-old man. If some fucking 65-year-old cunt starts flailing at me, I'm just gonna knock her the fuck out. I know that I'm capable of it. I know that I can, willing, able, all that jazz. But would you? Part of the humanitarian part of you just be like, dude, just chill, and try to. The reality is, this bitch is gonna get a pop shot in there, and you just gotta kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah. But apparently, Lil Squirt had an interesting field training experience. So he had what was called a shotgun intro into the obstruction thing. He said that he only worked 13 or so shifts before he was released by himself. And in those 13 shifts, he was involved in 3 felony obstructions. Between people getting drugged by cars,
Damn, dude.
people taking his gun,
Where the fuck is Little Squirt?
people
Sorry, it sounds like he's the cause of it.
Little Squirt works in Skid Row.
people trying to take his gun, all kinds of stuff.
Holy shit.
Interesting stuff. But him being hit with the fuck you are by a 65-year-old something chick.
Yeah, that kind of puts you back a step or two.
He said it threw him off guard for a second.
Yeah. Like, this bitch don't know I can kill her. That would be the one thing that would be weird to me is like,
I'll be honest with you. I think if I was sitting there arguing with a granny, I think the last thing I'd expect is for her to, and just throw them fucking paws up, son. She was ready to box in the street. The last fucking thing I expected. That was ridiculous.
Crazy, man. That's crazy. The fuck you are. I bet you she's single as fuck. I guarantee your kids
Probably.
hate her.
I wonder how many times she's actually drank and drive before she was caught. She's 65 years old, still doing shit like that. Could you imagine?
That just says that to me. That like my dad, he's a seasoned drunk driver. Like my dad can probably fly a plane drunk.
He's different. Different skill set.
He's experienced.
Yeah. Experience is experience.
He's built a lot of Lego sets. Now.
He's got a whole wall.
He's built Lego homes and shit. He's very experienced. Maybe she's new to it. Maybe she's just. I don't know. You would think 65 years old, new to drunk driving, you wouldn't do it.
He did let me know. They did a blood test up at the hospital for her drinking and driving, and they did get the results back.
Was she sober?
Wild guess. She was not.
I just thought she was autistic. The fuck you are.
Yeah, it's a whopping 0.17.
Damn.
Isn't .08?
Yeah, that's a tolerable limit.
That's the legal limit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
she was drunk.
she literally doubled it and gave it to herself. Actually,
Take all the drinks I drink and all the drinks you drink, and let me drink your drinks, and that's the amount of drinks that I drink.
Hell yeah. And then you've got that lovely snack known as the key to an automobile.
Have you ever talked to these? I'm assuming you know Little Squirt, at least in passing.
We just play games together. That's about it.
I wonder, have you ever talked to any of those people that do the test, the drunk test?
Oh, like the field sobriety?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wonder if, so say like I'm a lightweight, all right? And you being cool with vodka Red Bulls. 2 Coronas for me, I'm feeling them. 6 vodka Red Bulls for you, you're feeling them. Is it the amount of drink that would raise my alcohol content? Or is it, how much of it is weight? Or is just some people like me, just because I'm feel buzzy, does that mean my alcohol content would be up? Like that?
Some people take it differently. I think it's per your blood. At least what I was told, it's supposed to be the alcohol concentration like per like some liters of blood or whatever in your body.
I think they just put a number on it. Just even though it may react differently by person, that 0.8 ain't shit to some people. You know.
Yeah, so
I just think putting a number on it.
Putting a number on it is what makes you in jail or not, though.
That's not true.
Oh, really?
So what I'm told is there's DUI. There's less safe, which means you're just under the influence, and you are obviously intoxicated, where you can't actually drive safe. And then there's, I think they call it per se, where you're beyond the legal limit.
Parlay.
But it's like beyond the legal limit, which is like your 0.08. If I'm understanding it right.
So 0.8,
0.08.
0.08 across the board is a drunk fuck.
No, that's just what you're legally allowed to drive with in your system. So if you're driving and if you feel fine, but if you're driving above 0.08, I think that's just you just go to jail.
Yeah.
I think that's called their per se limit.
Okay.
I don't know why they call it a per se.
I wonder, because
it's like that. It's per se. It sounds like hear you language.
Yeah.
But it's kind of how the laws are wrote, though.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested.
Powdered wigs.
Like, so say like you handle alcohol better than me, and I wonder what both of our alcohol would be if we drink the same amount. Because you can handle yours much better than I can handle mine.
It makes me wonder.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'd be the same.
You guys would probably be better because you're about the same size. I'm a little shorter.
Yeah, but I don't drink.
Which would mean you'd probably be like me then.
Yeah, I might be a little bit more reactive to it.
Which he don't drink either, but it's like he can just deal with it.
It's like smoking a cigarette for the first time, I would assume.
That'd be an interesting... I wonder if you can just buy those things. Like a breathalyzer thing. Is that what they use? Or is it blood test that they get?
Apparently there's like 3 different ways to do it. There's like the air. Like apparently there's like I think they call it. They've got like a futuristic name for it. It's like
it's not breathalyzer.
No, it's like a Intoxilizer 9000. It's like some nerd shit. And, then they've got your little.
It's got a lot of rain.
Then they've got your suck on this, and they've got like they put your mouth on it.
Okay.
Just breathe on it, and then they've got blood tests.
Can I know your name first?
No, they've got like those portable ones, and then they've got ones that I don't know where the fuck they keep them, but you just go to an unknown fucking room and somewhere, and you just breathe in a tube, and then you can go to the hospital, I guess, to do your blood draws.
I would be reluctant. I think if I ever got pulled over for something like that, I would be reluctant to give any.
You're essentially handing over evidence.
That's
not essentially. You are handing over
Everybody,
evidence.
like lawyers that I'll listen to, they say, dude, there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's actually probably against your best interest to not do it. But I don't see how that is. Like, yeah, you're going to go to jail. You know?
Beat the case, get paid.
But I did watch one thing on YouTube where, say if you don't agree to it, they're obviously going to take you to jail. And I hear that they can get a search warrant. Just like how the raper story guy, you can get a search warrant for someone's DNA. So I guess if you got enough probable cause, you can probably get a judge to sign a search warrant for your blood test, I guess.
I don't know.
But I'm assuming this takes hours. That alcohol content's gone down by then. Now, if you're shit-faced drunk like that old fuck you are.
Like, just imagine what it was.
Yeah.
It had to
That's
have
a
been
good
higher.
point, because from her driving in the UK to getting face slammed on the ground to the hospital, I'm assuming this is an hour, 2 hours down the road.
Yeah,
I don't
driving
know.
in
He
the
didn't really say that.
driving in the UK and the US, that's fucking. You gotta be drunk.
You're on cloud nine.
I'm wondering which bridge she crossed.
The fuck you are.
Yeah, I guess.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, that's.
I guess when you're all in, you're all in.
Might as well. I'm about to. Yeah, I hope you got your hair cut. You about to catch a fade, son. About to catch a fade.
About to clap that. Oh.
Clap back. Yeah, that's Little Squirt's one of his first adventures.
I wonder if Little Squirt's got some close.
I will ask him.
I wonder if he's Big Squirt.